Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tom and I make videos that help you empower your higher self and manifest your dream reality. Before we start this video, I have a really exciting announcement. Some of you may have heard me already announce this on my community page, but it's that I have my first ever manifesting course coming out next week. This course is the culmination of all of my experience in this field. I wanted to give something really simple and powerful that anyone could follow, apply in their lives and see results, manifest their desires, transform their entire reality. All the information is exclusive and in depth, in greater depth than I've ever covered in my channel. So that's really exciting too. And it's all kind of derived from my own experience, what's worked for me to transform my own life, everything I've learned from coaching hundreds of people, from making dozens of videos on my YouTube channel, and studying hundreds of books over the past several years. So it's the culmination of that. It's like a synthesis, a blueprint, a holistic system that you can study and see incredible results to manifest what you want. So that course is coming out next week, and there's a special 1 week only launch price at 50% off. Kind of in the spirit of Christmas, maybe you can notice, got those, hung those up on there, those baubles things. So in the spirit of Christmas, and also just to celebrate the launch of this course. So if you're interested in that, you want to get this special price, you want to hear the updates more about the course, just click the link below and I will give you everything you need. Okay, enough talking about that. Let's get into today's video, which is 3 things that are blocking your desire from manifesting. Now, this isn't a fearful topic. When I say blocking your desire from manifesting, these blocks are natural. They're just a part of your journey and you're perfectly where you need to be. So it's not to create anxiety. I'm blocking myself. How am I doing this? How can I get back on track? It's not like that. It's just that as we go along our manifestation journeys towards something we want, creating that into our life, or as we evolve within ourselves spiritually, inevitably we fall into certain patterns that we were always kind of destined to fall in to teach us certain lessons. So in a sense, we fall into these patterns to block ourselves so that we can unblock ourselves, and in that process learn so much about ourselves and move that much closer towards that which we want. That's true for everyone's journey. But the purpose of this video is to realign you, is to give you that understanding, that awareness that these things could be blocking your desire, and therefore the solution and the choice, the freedom to dissolve these blocks, to let them go, to set yourself free, and to emerge back on track with your highest destiny, your best possible reality in which your desires can come to life. And so the first block is trying too hard. Trying too hard. Maybe you can already resonate with that. And this is a theme that's been playing in my own life as I've been building this course. I've kind of been putting in double time to build this course along with my normal business kind of schedule, coaching clients, creating, etc. And because my time has been so saturated with activity, I've almost been trying too hard and going out of that place of natural, effortless alignment, trying to push myself to get things done so that I can then realign, etc. And it's kind of like approaching it facing backwards. And so what manifestation is all about is creating an effortless way of life. It's actually possible to live an effortless way of life. If you believe that, it becomes true. And so a block is trying too hard, trying to force yourself to do techniques, to be overly disciplined, to be overly productive and action-oriented in your approach, and trying to kind of manipulate and force reality to shift. And we grip like that. The energy is like this. Yet, what actually is more powerful is just to open up and come back into the here and now, into the basics, to do things that actually fill you with joy, to maybe even take time off from trying so hard or doing certain techniques, and giving yourself that breathing space to be and to rejuvenate and re-energize within yourself, and thus to gain access to all of the wisdom, synchronicity and infinite intelligence that's within you to manifest that which you want. So practically in my own life, what this looked like was doing my simple routines that really connect me within and give me that peace and that clarity, such as my yoga routine, really doing that mindfully and then going into visualization and feeling my reality to be true, and just also taking a break from work, just stepping aside and not trying so hard and spending more time just for me. And that really has helped me then become more productive. So that's always the paradox. As you let go, it becomes more effortless. You don't have to try, you don't have to force. You can allow. And that which you want can simply flow in from that place of alignment that you've gifted yourself. So a practical question you could ask is, what is the one thing that I know is going to get me back on track? What's that one exercise, that one activity, or maybe it's even a lack of activity, just being. But what's that one thing that if you just take time to jot things down, there's one thing that pops up on the list that you know if you did this one thing, it would really get you back on track? It's a great question to ask, and whatever answer you get that fills you with that clarity, that sense of inspiration and excitement, that knowingness that I probably should do this, do that. And we'll break that cycle of trying too hard and of forcing, and we'll just break that pattern and step you back into that alignment very, very quickly. Usually doing one simple thing is enough to completely shift you in this area of your life back to where you want to be, to see results. And so building off the first point, the second thing that may be blocking your manifestation from coming to life is not enough self-love. You are a divine soul expressing its infinite potential, and you can be, do, or have anything. And notice how good that feels. It's because it's true. Your emotional guidance system lights up because that perspective is in alignment with what's true for you, what's possible for you, the version of you that's already in their best possible life with all the things they want. That's who you truly are. But that's not all you are. At least within most of us is another part. And I've said this many times, it is the human part, the human aspect, the inner child. But this entity also lives within us. It lives within the divine truth of who we really are. But nonetheless, it's a part of us. And it goes on this expansive journey to manifest what we want. It comes on the ride. Normally it's not that willing, but nonetheless it has to come on our ride towards our best possible life. So when we're hyper busy and we're trying so hard, normally what that means is we have an external focus. We're constantly focusing on what we can create, what we can do, things outside, keeping busy, expanding, but at the consequence of not looking in and checking in upon that innocent essence within us to make sure it's doing okay as it expands on this journey with us. And so this inner child, without enough attention and inward focus, feels abandoned. It feels neglected. It starts becoming more inflamed, meaning it manifests in intense emotional patterns. This can be sadness, this can be anxiety, this can be fear. This can be an urge to be critical and to guilt ourselves, to shame ourselves, which again starts to manifest even more ineffective tendencies when they're solely outward focused. So we may try even harder, not realizing that we're blocked from within. Our manifestation is blocked because our frequency is blocked due to a lack of self-love, a lack of balance of the outer with the inner. And so it simply means to be reminded every day that there's a being within you that is worthy of love, because of course it is. You are love. Everything is love. So it deserves that connection, just to be embraced, honored, respected, validated every single day. And when it truly feels heard, it will start to believe those things. It will believe that it is lovable and worthy and good enough. Then it comes on board with what you want to create as your higher self, and you're unblocked. And then your reality can stop manifesting static plateaus, frustrating lack of results, or even negative synchronicities, and it can start effortlessly flowing to reflect the purity and integration that's going on within you, because reality is a mirror. So that's why self-love is so important. Now, what does this practically look like? Well, I've said this to a lot of clients because I find it's really, really powerful. And it's simply for 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, every single day to check in with the inner child, the human aspect. And I literally hold myself, to be honest, when I do this. And I just, wherever it arises, whether that's a feeling in your solar plexus chakra, your heart center, maybe you feel it all around your body, maybe it presents in a thought instantly, it tells you something, I feel scared, I'm worried about this. Maybe it presents itself in that form, maybe it's just an emotion. But you intuitively find that innocent essence within you and you just connect with it, dropping all focus on your life, expanding in any way, and giving unconditional focus, and just saying I love you, just saying I'm here for you, what do you need, what would you wish to share with me, and not trying to change it, not trying to do anything, just honoring whatever arises. Sitting with that emotion, sitting with those thoughts that it presents to you, whether critical, whether they're fearful, no matter what, they're valid. And you simply honor that through your presence. And remember, you are divine. So your presence, simply your presence, is divine love. So even if you're not aware of that love that is your essence, still your awareness itself has that innate, intrinsic vibration that all the universe is made of, pure love light, of the source. Everything is that frequency. So simply placing your awareness over the inner child is purifying it. So it's so simple. You just be with it, check in with it, and even do this on a good day. A lot of us think, oh, why would I say I love you when I'm feeling good? I don't need to do that. But actually, you still do it even when you feel good. Just think about it like you're cultivating a friendship, a dear friendship. And when you're feeling really good, maybe you call them out of the blue and you say, hey, I just want to check in with you. How are you going? And that friend appreciates that, and that cultivates that relationship, and that makes that relationship become sustained and rejuvenated and alive. Well, so too, when you're on a good day, still connect in. I love you. What do you want to do today? What do you need? And it will actually tell you things. It will actually feel heard and liberated. And you simply do that little check-in for 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, every single day, and it compounds over time. And therefore, you will feel so loved. Well, that part of you will feel so loved that it will dissolve into the light of your divine self. More and more and more and more. And what does that mean? It means your best possible reality can manifest, can be allowed to flow in, because it's truly aligned. So that's the second block. Not enough self-love. Make sure you self-love. And the third thing that may be blocking your desire for manifesting are negative influences. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, firstly, when I say the word negative, I don't mean absolutely negative, objectively negative and bad. Because from the source's perspective, the absolute truth, everything is valid, everything is love. Everything is the divine or the source expressing itself in its infinite variety, complexity, and possibility. So if it exists, it must be approved, it must be valid. So I don't mean absolutely bad, I mean for you, what's negative for you? What doesn't resonate with you? Those influences. And that could be a teacher, a certain teacher you follow. So if you're a manifestation and spiritual student, obviously you'll have these teachers in your life. You'll be reading books, watching them. Perhaps you follow people on social media. So it can be those kind of things. It can also be certain habits you're doing that no longer resonate with you, that aren't enhancing your life. Or it could be actual people in your life, friends or family or anything that can give you this negative influence. And the thing about these influences in our life is that often at some point there was a genuine benefit from having these in your life. They enhanced your life at a certain phase you were in as a part of your journey. But then you expand, you change and you transform. And suddenly some of these influences may no longer resonate with you. And yet because they were once beneficial, we kind of feel obliged or attached to them, of keeping them with us and kind of scooping them all up and saying, come along the journey with me. Not realizing that they were only relevant for a past version of ourselves, and who we are right now may be better served by letting them go. And embracing only the influences that enhance our life, that bring positivity, clarity, love, joy, that help us expand, that help us feel aligned and unblocked towards our desire manifesting, towards our highest spiritual evolution. And so it's to realize that you have the right to let anything go that no longer serves you, and to follow your resonance, to trust in your heart, and to surround yourself with that which makes you feel good. Because as you do that, you're tapping into your truth. What's true for you, at least right now. You can pick up old influences in your life at any point. But it's just the permission right now to let anything negative go, if you like. You have that choice. You have that free will. It can be just in a small way. It can be in a bigger way, depending on your situation. But in my own life, I realized that I was following a bunch of teachers that were spiritual manifestation teachers, other authors, etc., people on social media. And I realized that some of these people, whenever I watch their material, they don't make me feel good anymore. Their perspective no longer resonates with where I'm at in my journey. It's not that they're wrong or bad, it's no longer resonating. And then I realized maybe I have to let some of these teachings and teachers go for a time being and follow my resonance and trust that everything I need to know comes from what makes me feel good. And in letting some of these people go, whether that was kind of unfollowing a person, some teacher or something like that, not choosing to read a certain book, etc., and making some of these simple choices, I've noticed that my happiness is more stable and more aligned, and I'm attracting in new resources, new ideas that are enhancing and expanding my journey. And of course, that means you're unblocked. That means you're in alignment because you're trusting what feels good for you. And thus your desire can flow in. Thus your dream reality can reflect the good feeling state that you're in by following what feels good for you and letting go of the negative influences in your life. Make sure you do this in a spirit of self-love to yourself and full recognition that no one is bad. It's just simply what's right for you right now. That's it. You have every right to embrace what's right for you. That version of you that once resonated with them will be free to be liberated and dissolved, and the light and fullness of who you now become can come to life. So you don't need to bring anything with you. You only need to trust that as you follow your heart and what makes you feel good, everything you need to know will always be there and more. You'll always be supported. You'll always have the next answer, the next solution. And the beautiful thing is it often comes full circle, and then various people, teachings, practices, habits, whatever that may not be resonating with you right now, that may be weighing you down, sometimes those things then resonate with you again and they flow back in and it comes full circle. That's the beautiful thing. But that's the third block, is negative influences. And so what the key thing you could do is to ask yourself, what are all the things that I do in my life or that I'm exposed to in my life that aren't adding value, that are actually bringing me down, that are making me feel negative, that are making me feel like life is hard, static, tough, that my desire may actually not be possible, that make me feel less about myself, that make me compare myself in a negative way, that always bring me down in any way. You want to find that list and you want to ask yourself, well, who could I let go? Who would I let go if I knew that I would always have everything I needed to manifest my best possible life? If you knew you were going to always have what you needed, who would you just want to let go for now? Wish farewell for now, out of your experience in your everyday life. And whoever you can in a practical way, just make those moves. It doesn't have to be a big deal. You just simply let them go. And then you focus on what's all the things that are making you feel good in your life and expanding on that. Now, if it's a person in your life, obviously that's a little bit trickier. The person you live with or a family member, etc. Or something like that where you're kind of bound into that exposure to that influence in a more rigid way. But maybe there are some strategies you could then brainstorm to lessen your time or to preserve your energy around them, to keep your focus on things that you want around them or around this influence. So I'll leave that to you to brainstorm, but the important thing is you have the freedom to be exposed to that which enhances your life, that which makes you feel good, and as you do that, you're in the frequency of your best possible self, and thus your life will reflect that. Anyway, those are the 3 things that may be blocking your desire, and the solutions for unblocking yourself, aligning and manifesting your desires and best possible life. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you were excited for the manifestation course that's coming out next week. Again, click the link below to get all the updates around that, the special 50% off price. And stay tuned for more videos from my channel. There's going to be a lot coming soon. Thank you.